As artificial intelligence advances, we really must ponder, should we still teach essay writing to our kids? Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. We live in an AI world. Do we still teach our kids to write? AI, or artificial intelligence, is here and it isn't going away. We've actually been using it for years. Facial recognition software, what is now called talk-to-text, but started really early as a voice recorder app, Facebook's algorithm, Alexa, Siri, exercise wristbands, health bands or health apps, all kinds of things. AI has just gotten a lot more sophisticated. Maybe we noticed it more and are much more leery of it because the other examples were more helpmates and they came upon us a lot more slowly. Now the AI technology has become so sophisticated in such a short amount of time that it is hard for many people to see what good will come out of it. Many people see a loss of jobs due to AI, or others remember Skynet of the Terminator and get a little leery. And then there are just those people who don't want to learn something new. Why do I care about AI enough to tell you about it? I have spoken a lot about the educational system. I talk extensively to my homeschool moms and my homeschool wannabes about ways to educate at home more powerfully. I feel it is my responsibility to look at AI in reference to education and let you know my thoughts. Papers, school essays, any type of essay on any topic can now be generated by AI. So the question must be asked, should we be teaching our children to write papers in the light of the capabilities of AI? I'm torn. I majored in English and Spanish and then got my master's in teaching. I specialize in teaching kiddos how to write. And yet, even I am having trouble with this controversial issue. I've already given up the need for heavy instruction in editing skills. If you check out how to pick the perfect writing curriculum or how to avoid a writing curriculum, and I have links for both of those, you will see that many programs are only teaching editing and they're actually calling that writing instruction. This to me is a travesty when every computer, tablet, phone, almost anything out there will point out to a student or a person that they believe, the program believes that there has been an error made, where it is. They'll even tell you what it is if you click on it. So the child, student, person, whoever who's writing only has to know enough to know, yeah, that actually is an error, or no, the computer's being hypervigilant, or they need to know enough to look into that error. So they don't really even have to have the subject-verb agreement knowledge. They just need to know the knowledge to know, that might be an error. Let me look up why that would be an error and what the proper usage would be. Now, would it be much faster if they could actually say, yeah, that's an error and I can fix that? Yes. But do they really have to know to the depth that we are teaching them? No, I don't think they really do. The world has advanced. There is so much that our children need to be taught in order to enter their world. I mean, if your child is 5 right now, think of all that they're going to need to be taught in order to enter the world and how that world will look when they are adults so that they can properly function and perform well so that they can survive. So do we really want to waste critical instruction time teaching skills that can be corrected or even generated by a computer? I have had to do a lot of soul searching. I actually started this article 6 months ago, and I have been doing all of this thought, research, and honestly, a lot of looking into my own thoughts and my heart, because I didn't want that to bleed out onto this paper. I wanted this to be more of something that you could look at. So I went back to the why. Why do we teach our children what we do? Not just writing, but all of it. I believe that if we ask this question, then we can step away from the emotional need to cling to specific ideologies. I will not have an answer tied with a lovely ribbon in the conclusion for you. This is one of those amazing articles, especially in today's world, where someone with a lot of knowledge on a specific topic puts together, after a lot of thought and a lot of research, some concise arguments or a list of benefits in this particular instance, so that you get to make your own determinations. This topic is so big and has so much baggage to cling to that I am going to make it as easy as possible. I love lists. I'm going to ask questions and then I'm going to list answers. I think the part that you will love is when you see the overlapping answers. So question number 1, what is the purpose of learning to write different types of essays like narratives, expositories, persuasives, and descriptive? I chose 5 amazing skills a person learns from learning to write, although there is research for more. 1, organize thoughts. Writing teaches children how to arrange ideas in a logical sequence and present articles in a coherent manner. Do you remember the hamburger for writing? Children learn first when they see it all in writing. So they see how to present what they say. They see that you open up with a topic. They see, because it's all in front of them, written down. If you've never taught your children how to write using a hamburger, or if your children have never learned using a hamburger, even if they're in 8th grade. Remember, I had 6th graders. I had to go back and teach all of my 6th graders the hamburger skill, even though this is something that is usually taught in 2nd or 3rd grade, because it is so valuable. I have a mini program on this skill, and I walk through step by step. I give examples, and I have a link for that in the notes because I think it is so critical. 2, critical thinking. Writing requires a person to analyze information, evaluate arguments, and form logical conclusions. This is the main reason writing is said to boost problem-solving skills, because all of those things are said to be problem-solving skills. Communication skills. An individual must articulate their thoughts, ideas, and arguments in an effective manner so that another person can hear, like actually absorb what they are saying. And this is why I love teaching persuasive writing. You can't even ask for a job, let alone a raise, without having this skill. 4, research skills. I know, I already know what you're going to say. You're saying, AI can do all my research skills. Well, yes, it can. However, there is so much out there that writing helps a child find credible resources, although even that is getting very, very difficult. And that is going to be another one of those critical thinking skills and problem-solving skills for children. To evaluate different information and synthesize knowledge from different perspectives. This skill helps a person learn, especially important today, that perspective may be giving me this account based on who they are, where they live, or what they are experiencing. So that is critical, because while the source may seem very credible, the actual information may not be a critical or research-based thing. It may be opinion. And teaching your child how to differentiate that, those are going to be critical things to teach our children. 5, analytical skills. The very process of writing an essay is taking a big topic. You have this great big topic. Is there really a greenhouse effect? Okay, and I'm not going either way. This isn't meant to be political, but that's a huge topic. Well, now you have to take that huge topic and make it into smaller, more digestible chunks. And you're going to have to do that for a specific audience. Now that great big example I just gave you is a really great example because you can take that and chunk that down. Now, if you're just going to go one political party or the other or whatever, you can easily chunk it that way. Or the writer can learn to break down complex topics, analyze different viewpoints, not only from different sources or research, but also their audience. And they can critically evaluate the evidence. So someone who is really good analytically, so they have amazing analytical savvy, can actually tailor-make a persuasive argument for a specific group or specific audience or people that makes the exact same argument in a different way for a different audience so that both people, both groups can hear that piece of information. And learning to write can help them with that. That's an amazing skill. So these 5 skills comprise an impressive list. And if I were to stop right there, I bet you I could make an argument that, of course, we should keep teaching writing for our children. Slam dunk. You'd think it's over. I told you this is your suitcase to unpack. Many schools have eliminated handwriting from the curriculum. I mean, my heck, we're talking about letting AI write our papers. Why on earth should we learn handwriting? Well, I can make a great argument for handwriting as well. Why should children learn handwriting? I have highlighted 5 benefits to learning handwriting. 1, cognitive development. Handwriting helps develop such skills as fine motor, hand-eye coordination, and spatial awareness. 2, fundamental skill. Follow me with this. If you like a holistic approach to education, handwriting actually helps children recognize and understand the structure, the form, and the meaning of letters, and then letters become words, and then words become sentences. So that handwriting is actually the first step in understanding how it all fits together. 3, note-taking and studying. Again, I know you can do this all on a computer. However, and I have this link in the notes, there's research that shows that when you're taking notes using pen and paper, it leads to better understanding and more effective memorization and long-term retention. 4, brain development. This is the one that super duper excites me, and I actually knew this a long time ago and I didn't know how to say it. So when people were talking about should we get rid of handwriting, the only thing I knew how to say is I was like, it does a left-right brain thing. It's really important because it does a left-right brain thing. But I didn't know how to actually verbalize it, so I sounded like an idiot. So I needed to go back to my writing skills, right? And that number 5 analytical thing, I needed to hit that one a little harder. But I didn't delve into it. So this is why. The actual physical act of writing stimulates multiple areas of the brain, including those responsible for language processing, memory, and creativity. And yes, I absolutely have the link in the notes so you can actually read the left-right brain thing that I was talking about. 5, fine motor skills. Writing by hand enhances fine motor skills, which was a part of that cognitive development, but that also means it helps with your finger dexterity and hand strength. So these are 5 strong reasons for continuing to teach handwriting in a computer world to our youth. I'm good at my arguments. I have researched and documented links as to why we should still be teaching writing and handwriting, essay writing in schools. I believe most of these skills learned are crucial, and yet there is more to this story. I am not going to be one of those people who stops at one argument, and that's basically one side of the argument. So what I did is I went ahead and I took 3 of these benefits that were listed out of those 10 that I found really important, and I looked at other ways children could learn them. If they weren't taught those skills through some kind of writing, how could these skills be taught? So what are different ways children or students can learn critical thinking skills, which also inevitably lead to problem-solving skills? There are many ways that I covered critical thinking skills, and I did this in an entire article. So I will have that, or blog, or podcast. I have all forms, and I'll have that link in the notes. But here are 7 just briefly listed. Inquiry-based learning. This is a student-centered approach that involves asking questions and exploring topics rather than telling the student topics, and investigating various solutions. 2, teach metacognition. Oh my heck, is that not a mouthful? This simply means, when you get down to it, that you are teaching your child to think about the way they process their own information. 3, foster creativity. This is not your arts and crafts. You are going to help your child develop their critical thinking skills by allowing them and helping them learn how to think outside of the box. 4, use real-world examples. Real-world examples is going to come up again and again and again in a lot of the things I start talking about. That's because it just means something to people. Help your child apply their knowledge to real-life situations. 5, encourage reflection. Self-evaluation can help develop critical thinking skills by allowing your child to identify areas they need to improve or develop a deeper understanding. 6, discussion and debate. Encourage discussions and debates so your child can express their opinions and learn to defend their position using evidence and logical reasoning. 7, teach problem-solving strategies. There's actually a formula for this. Identify the problem, generate solutions, and select the best solution. If you love social emotional learning, SEL, like I do, this is level 5. There's only 5 levels, which is responsible decision making, and has 2 more steps. Consider the effects and evaluate and reflect on the impact that your decision made, which I believe makes all of the difference. And there's a link to this article in the notes. What are the different ways students can learn communication skills? 1, active listening. Children can become better communicators by improving their ability to understand and respond to others. Help them practice active listening by paying attention, asking clarifying questions, and summarizing what you heard or what they heard, like whoever's doing the listening. 2, practice speaking. Provide opportunities such as presentations, debate, discussions, and collaborative projects so that your child can simply practice speaking effectively. 3, role playing. A more fun activity that helps with communication skills is to role play. 4, video or audio recording. Use that technology to show your child what they actually look and sound like when they are communicating. This allows them to self-evaluate and self-reflect. 5, public speaking events. These can be actual events or programs. I love, and this is probably not the name of it, but this is what I call it, Toastmasters for Kids. See if your area is offering something like this. If not, talk to your local Toastmasters group and see if one can be started. 6, empathy. When children can understand and empathize with others, they can adjust their communication style accordingly. And I have a link to How to Raise Kind Kids in the notes. 7, nonverbal communication. Nonverbal cues include facial expressions, gestures, and body language. Once a child can recognize and use these cues, they can communicate without even opening their mouths, and this communication can be very effective. How can my child learn to organize their thoughts? Mindful practices. Focus and concentration are key elements to keeping your brain decluttered and being able to organize your thoughts. Teaching your child deep breathing, being present in the moment, and how to identify emotions, and there's that link to SEL, and coloring with soothing music are all great places to start. I actually have a download for you, if you go to the notes, that has some fabulous coloring, and it's for your age, your teen's age, your kid's age. I have various pages. And then I put some of my favorite playlists from Spotify on the, my favorite, I'm going to butcher this word, but it's Safaggio frequencies. But it's different frequencies that can help with healing, calm, sleepiness, all kinds of different things. And I actually will put a link to that article where I talked about these frequencies in the notes as well. 2, creative activities. A fun way to learn how to organize their thoughts. Children can create drawings, paintings, sculptures, whatever, and express their ideas and emotions while going through specific steps to reach the end masterpiece. 3, team projects. While working with a group to achieve a goal, children learn how to communicate effectively and organize their thoughts and ideas in a structured way. So, if you've ever seen a pack of kids, so that they can be heard within the group. Otherwise, or even if you've seen a pack of adults, otherwise the only way that you are heard is if you yell the loudest, and that's not very effective because then nobody wants to listen. 4, conversation. Simply talk with your child. Guide your child in the conversation so they learn how to articulate their thoughts and ideas more effectively. I also have conversation starters in the notes. Brainstorming. Encourage your child to brainstorm ideas. That whole throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks has a lot of merit. Mind mapping or clustering. These are great visual tools to help your child not only see their thoughts, especially while brainstorming, but to then also later organize them. So let's go back to our question. Now that we have more information, should we use critical teaching and learning time on skills that a computer can do for us? We now know 10 benefits of writing children get outside of the actual assignment. Then we took 3 of the 10 benefits and found ways to still teach those benefits without using writing skills. We found 21 ways to do this. And here's where it gets really interesting. The world has definitely entered a computer age. Not just a glorified word processor or typewriter, but a thinking, calculating, almost, I hate to say it, but sentient kind of computer. So what if we ask another question? What skills will my child learn and benefit from when learning how to code? Communication skills. Coding involves using programming languages to communicate instructions to computers. 2, organization of thoughts. A person must have the ability to write code in a language that is clear, concise, and logically structured so that the computer can follow these instructions. 3, critical thinking and problem solving. Coding involves breaking down problems from the big to the smaller so that they are manageable parts and developing efficient algorithms to then solve them. This requires the child to approach challenges analytically. 4, knowledge retention. The child must grasp new information, retain that information, and then apply it effectively while researching and understanding various programming concepts. 5, academic success. Coding skills can enhance computational thinking, problem solving, and logical reasoning, which are usually associated as being helpful with subjects like math and science. 6, career advancement. Let's face it, coding skills are in high demand. So when you went back and you looked over all those skills of the handwriting, the writing, and then the coding, did you notice that 4 of the benefits of writing were also listed in the benefits of coding? The way, the reason, or the scope was a little different. However, listed under benefits of these categories, they were the same. As artificial intelligence advances, we really must ponder, should we still teach essay writing to our kids? The answer hinges on why we teach this skill. I don't want to decide for you, but instead I wanted to share with you the benefits of each. Through my research, I found that many of the great benefits we learn from writing can be learned differently, and that is why I shared those other ways of learning them. Then I found some really cool facts about coding. In the end, my hope is that all of this information will help you navigate the AI landscape and make informed decisions about how you want to spend your precious educational time. Me, I am still undecided, so I will personally side with continuing to learn writing skills. I would love to hear your thoughts. Where are you landing with technology, with writing, with thinking? And if you are homeschooling, how do you want to use your time in teaching? And what do you want to be developing? The movie quote this week: "Wow, my own giant robot. I am now the luckiest kid in America. This must be the biggest discovery since, I don't know, television or something." Hogarth Hughes in Iron Giant. If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social